It is Sunday, March 29th. It's 1:11 p.m. It's rainy here in Cheshire, and yeah, I don't know if we'll see the sun today. But I hope, despite the weather, you guys are doing well. You're staying safe with your families, and that classes are continuing to go well. Okay, so this is our recorded online lecture for Monday, March 30th. I don't anticipate this recording being too terribly long, but as I get through this information, we'll see exactly how we're doing. So, as always, you will want to take notes during this lecture. So, if you haven't already gotten out a notepad, pen, pencil, if you're not already taking notes on your laptop, I'd recommend you to somehow record some important information. So, things that I will be talking about during this video is signing up for Conference 2, which is our annotated bibliography. And also, I will talk about conducting peer review number 5 in Blackboard with your assigned partner. Your focus for the content is 10 entries. So, this means that you should have by now, now being March 30th, by now you should have completed all 10 of your annotated bibliography entries. So, what is homework? I will come back to this as always. Homework is to, again, you will want to do this in the order that it is presented here in our course schedule. First thing you will want to do is offer feedback on your partner's annotated bibliography. Again, it contains entries. You will complete this activity by Tuesday, March 31st. So ideally, if you're watching this today, being Monday, March 30th, you should be in touch with your partner and you should continue offering feedback on the entries. This is considered peer review number 5. Second, once you have gone through the peer review process, you should revise your annotated bibliography based on the feedback you received from your partner. After you have done those revisions, and remember that revision is more than just adding commas, periods, correcting spelling, and all that. It's way more. We need to talk about revision again. All my notes here. You need to think about, are your sentences clear? And many of the proposals I've graded, there was some trouble with clarity. So you also want to make sure you want to focus on your sentences and just slowly read them out loud and see if you can correct anything for clarity. All right. Also, I want you to revise for conciseness. So specifically, how can you get to your point faster? Oftentimes, there are words that are unnecessary in our sentences and they kind of cloud the meaning of the sentence. They bog down the meaning of the sentence. So I want you to go back to each of your sentences and not only focus on this idea of clarity, but I want you to focus on this idea of conciseness. In addition, you should be making sure that your formatting is correct for your annotated bibliography. This means that your header should be in Times New Roman 12. You literally should be checking that. Okay. And the entries throughout should be also in Times New Roman 12. You should be going back to the example that I used for the formatting. I'm going to pull that up here. So give me an example. Give me a minute. I'm sorry. Let me go into, you guys all have the same information. It doesn't matter which class I go into. So writing assignments and materials, course handouts. Let's go into the annotated bibliography. So let's go into this assignment sheet. Okay. So I'm just going to pull up this example. Again, before you submit any writing assignment, you should go back to the assignment sheet to figure out, what was asked of you. So specifically, we're looking at, those expectations on page 2 of your assignment sheet, looking at the number of sources, what type, okay. And then we're also looking at, again, the evaluation criteria. So this is how you are being graded out of 75 points. this is where you are earning those points. All right. So you should have if you're doing MLA, again, your citation in this case would be an MLA. It's double spaced. The second line is indented. I think people will mess up on not having their citation indented. This is the first paragraph, which is double spaced. This is a summary of your source. This is the second paragraph, which is the evaluation of your source in terms of credibility, also double spaced. And then your third paragraph, that is also double spaced, that considers the usefulness. And it's the same idea for your APA citation. You again have your entry, your bibliographic citation double spaced. It is indented to the right here. Okay, it's hung is what we call it. And then you have your summary. You have your evaluation paragraph. And finally, you have your usefulness paragraph. Okay, so it's important to go back to the sheet to make sure you have this criteria before you go on to the next step here on our course schedule sheet. So that step is uploading your annotated bibliography in the designated area in Blackboard by 9 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, Wednesday, April 1st. So let me show you again where to upload. You guys are familiar with this by now. Submit annotated bibliography here. Okay, Wednesday, April 1st, 9 a.m., 75 points. Again, you're dragging your file over here. Please make sure it's in Microsoft Word because, as I mentioned to many of you during our meeting, I use track changes. So I use Word track changes, and I cannot do that if it's not already in a Word file. So you may have to convert. If you have trouble with that, just leave me a comment here and hit submit. Again, you should receive a notification that your file has submitted. If you do not receive that notification, you may want to go back into the system and double check that it has been uploaded. Okay, you need that notification in order to verify that your upload has been successful. So after you do that, finally, you will want to read and annotate Writing a Lit Review. I'll show you where to locate this reading here in Blackboard. So let's go back to Writing Assignments and Materials. Go to Course Readings. Okay, now we are down here. So it's Writing a Lit Review. Let me just double check to make sure. Yep, okay. So you want this file here, Writing a Literature Review. That file will open automatically. You can see it's 8 pages. Let me stress this. You absolutely need to read this and annotate it well. Read it closely, because writing a lit review is very, very challenging. Academics, so scholars who do this outside their teaching and service work, this is the part that many peer reviewers, when you go and submit your work for publishing, reviewers will always comment on your lit reviews, and lit reviews are often very poorly done. Which impacts the rest of the article, the understanding of the article, because the literature review basically provides context to help your readers understand what scholarship informs what you're writing about. And it's not just a summary, it's also combines a summary with evaluation. So in order to understand the nature of a lit review, you need to read this closely. You need to take notes. If you do not do this reading, you are going to struggle. Of course, I will always have some information for you guys in terms of examples. I have those prepared. I have other materials to aid in your writing process for your lit review, but you need to read this closely and take notes. If you do not, you're going to be extremely lost. And I want you to have a good experience. And part of having a good experience is doing this reading. Okay? So can't stress that enough. Okay, so that's the homework. Let me talk about the tasks. So signing up for Conference 2. Let's go back to Blackboard. On Friday, and then I just double checked it today, I set up a place here in our Blackboard. Again, no matter what class you're in, you still go to the same place. So you go to Conference Sign Up Sheet Links. This is conference number 2 for the annotated bibliography, because you will have it turned in this Wednesday. So let's go into this. The birds are chirping outside. You may hear them. So conference number 2, annotated bibliography sign up sheet. So again, like last time, sign up for one time below. Make sure your conference time is conducive with your class schedule. You should not miss any of your classes for a conference. All class or conferences will take place online via Zoom at the following link. So all of you should just hit this link when it comes time for your conference. Please remember your conference day and time, and please be prompt to your conference. Because I have 72 students total, it's incredibly challenging to squeeze everyone in my schedule. If people are late or forget about their conference day and time, it throws off our entire conference schedule. It can not only impact my plans, but yours. This last time, conference week is, for me, very, very long. It's very stressful for me. I'm literally often getting up at 5 a.m. in preparation for the conferences. Sometimes I'm finishing up grading for the next day, or 2 days later when I'm going to be meeting with someone. I am in my chair almost all day from 8 a.m. to 4:30 generally. Often my day ends at 6:30 p.m. and it's long, and I get grumpy because I'm just exhausted from it, to be honest. But I do this for you guys. I want to work one-on-one with you and help you improve and talk about what has gone on in your paper, what you're doing well, and what you can improve upon. So this means that it is vital that you sign up for days and times that you can absolutely meet. The order in which you sign up is the order in which I grade, because it would make more sense for me to go in the order. So for instance, if you sign up Serena first at 8 a.m., I would grade yours first, and so on and so forth. So I grade in the order in which you sign up. So the schedule is pretty much the same as last time. Tuesday is definitely the more intense day for me. I see you all basically every 20 minutes. I allow a little bit of time in between in the afternoon for me to go to the restroom and, eat sometimes, get some water, whatever. But please sign up for the day that's appropriate for you. Please note that Friday, April 10th is Good Friday. I know it's a religious holiday, especially like for Catholics. But if you want to sign up for that day, that's absolutely fine with me. I have obviously, we're really not going out these days because of the pandemic. So, as far as like, going to church services or whatever, you're probably unlikely to go out. So sign up for the day and time that works best for you. So conferences begin Monday, April 6th. They run through April 10th. I know emergencies can come up, but I beg of you to please, please, please commit to your time. Be ready via Zoom. Have your video ready. Have your mic on. I want to make this process as easy as possible and less stressful on me and on you. And so I just ask your cooperation. So that's the sign up sheet. So make sure you sign up for that. Okay, you should be signing up for that. Again, you're going here, conference sign up sheet, and then you're going here. Okay, and then going into that link. Okay, so there's that. Peer review. So I'm thinking instead of messing with the peer review partners this time, I know some of you have not had very good experiences, and I really deeply apologize for that. I know that we're all going through a stressful time. Some people are getting their work in, others are not, and that is affecting our progress. So I will just, for the rest of the sequence, you're only doing it one more time. I will keep your partners, and your partners will, vary during the next sequence. I will change them up. I think that will make the most sense. So, all of you will have your own list of partners. So 9 a.m., you probably know who your partner is already. Okay. So we'll maintain these partners. That's 9 a.m. Okay. And then so on and so forth. So 10 a.m., let's get in here. I'm just trying to keep this video somewhat short and most essential. So 10 a.m., okay. And I will say something about if your partner is giving you a hard time. Let me get to this here. So again, this is my noon class. Okay. And then finally, let's get to the 1 p.m. class. So for Monday, I'm asking you to just keep the same partners that you've been working with. However, if your partner has not been giving you their work, and so, like, you're obviously being impacted that way to peer review their work, I just want you to peer review someone else's paper. I don't care who it is. Again, this is if your partner is giving you a hard time and not submitting their work, review someone else's. Um, and that way I will continue to give you points. Again, I am not penalizing you if your partner doesn't submit their work because that's not fair to you. But next sequence, the literature review, which we're heading in, I will switch up partners then. I figured, we're almost finished with the sequence. Let's just keep the same partners for this time. Okay. So that's it in terms of partners. So let's go back to our sheet. So what's on our schedule? Again, I want you to go in the order of which this homework is listed. So peer review first, revise, upload, read. Again, you should never be having questions about what's going on in class, what's going on for homework, because you have the course schedule literally in front of you. You just have to read it. This should be easy for everyone. You have it accessible to you via Blackboard. Of course, if you have any questions that aren't mentioned here, that don't help you answer a question, feel free to contact me. But again, you should never be asking what's for homework. Look at the schedule. It's not that hard. That you can see that frustrates me a little bit when people ask, well, what's homework? What do you think it is? Look at the schedule. Okay, so anyway, enough preaching about that. On Wednesday, we will go live via Zoom. I will send you a reminder about that, and at that point in time, you will get a new course schedule. I actually have it already loaded up here in Blackboard, but we will review that information together. In the meantime, though, let me know if you guys have any questions. I am always around. I try not to answer emails on Saturday, especially because I need a day for myself like you guys, and I think that's fair. Ideally, I probably should take Sundays off too, but it's not possible, so I take off Saturdays. But let me know if you have any questions about anything. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.